Growing up every fall, I would go hunting with my father. I will never understand why exactly, but my father loved to get up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and drive halfway across Montana to our hunting spot. For me, it was too many times seeing 3 on my clock for one day. And driving at night always seemed so hard, but he loved it. Now I want you to imagine this for a second. My dad would get up at 3 a.m., pile me and him in his Toyota truck. This isn't one of those Toyota trucks with the extended cab. This was back when they were not much bigger than the Toyota car, but just lifted off the ground. We would get in the red Toyota pickup and travel halfway across Montana to our hunting spot. Now, every time we would go, I would hear the same round of stories. My uncle getting caught in a blizzard and hiking out to find a way to plow out and help his cows. The history of every cabin on the piece of land we were hunting on. Can you believe they raised 9 kids in that little one-room cabin? The same stories I would hear every time. I knew them all. One day, we ended up in one of our favorite places to hunt. We drove out onto a section of land that lies between several small hilltops. It is a small mountain plateau filled with nothing except spectacular views and sagebrush. The thing that is usually so spectacular from this vantage point is the distance you can see. You can see from Livingston, Montana to Big Timber and beyond. Across the Yellowstone River, the crazy mountains, they jut out of the ground as if God was, well, crazy to put them there. And to the southwest, the large Absaroka mountain range is rising from the earth. Usually, you can see all that, and my dad and I have spent countless days hunting in this one spot. This day was different, though. The clouds were hanging very low, and as if it was normal to live in the clouds, they kept sinking lower and lower. We were driving around on this open patch of sagebrush. We both knew it really well. We were following the road when suddenly we realized we weren't following the road anymore. We had been there 1,000 times, but suddenly the road was gone, and we were driving circles through sagebrush. My dad doesn't stop when he gets lost. It must be where I learned this incredibly intelligent trait. We must have driven in tight circles for about 15 minutes or more looking for that road. Now don't worry, there's no dire end to this story. We weren't lost forever. The reality was, I don't think I've ever understood so clearly how easy it is to get lost, even in a place you know so well. Our scriptures for today are examples of another father who is searching with his son and family alongside. Joseph is on a search for a road to help them complete the census and the birth, and then searching for a road to keep Jesus safe. When I was growing up, I learned of the description of Jesus' love and the love of God when he said it was like a father, like a parent. I knew what that love was like quickly. My dad had taken me hunting. He'd spent time with me. He'd helped me search. But not all people have good dads or good parents. I was blessed with one who got me up and took me searching at a very young age, spending time in the world with me. See, we all search for something in our life. Joseph was searching for safety for his family. My dad and I were searching for a path out of the clouds. People are searching for their home. Others search for belonging. Others search for love. Others need safety and asylum from threats on their lives. Others search for meaning. All of us search for something to complete our being. Part of the human plight, though, is we often search in all the wrong places for the things we really think we need. We often are not as wise as Joseph to listen to a dream on where to go. We often turn to addictions, things that help us ignore our need for searching. We are creatures who like equilibrium and resist change. We would rather remain unchanged than risk becoming something we did not expect or going where we did not imagine. Kind of like our sharing in the sermon we did last week. The gospel writer, I dare say, had a little hindsight, though. Joseph most likely did not know the right direction and made some mistakes along the way. See, in the Gospels, we get this cleaned up version of the story. But I wonder if Mary, like me in the truck hunting with my dad, wondered why Joseph didn't just stop off instead of cruising on through Egypt. Maybe the Sinai was actually far enough. Or maybe Egypt was the right choice. Here's what we do know, though. Jesus made it through. He grew up. Jesus grew up, and his love was made known to us because of Joseph's fatherly searching. I wonder if this isn't the message of the Christmas season. Do the best you can at following God's dream, and love will be let loose on the world. Jesus is about to be born among us. Let your search focus on the tiny manger for now, and perhaps the path will appear. Back to my dad and I. See, the path finally became clear as the clouds lifted. We found the road. But being lost in a familiar place can be disconcerting, and it can be just as disconcerting as searching in a place that you do not know. The truth is, with God's love being born in our lives, I believe, no matter what, that we can find the right path if we just look for that little piece of love.